What do you consider a huge waste of money? Using a traditional funeral service when you die, getting embalmed and all that. Just kick some dirt on me and keep it moving. Seriously, what are they trying to preserve me for? Throw me in a hole or put me on a pyre and call it good. When I'm dead, just put me in the trash. Danny DeVito, Danny as Frank. College textbooks. Man, that industry is so crazy. Hundreds of dollars for a book that you might use for a semester or two. I bought into it my first semester at college. Then I got smart and either found them online or took advantage of some of my professors who were kind enough to leave a couple of copies on reserve at the library for people to use. I once had a professor who assigned us one of the books he had written as a required text for the course. He brought a letter from the publisher detailing the royalties he received from each copy, and paid everyone in cash that brought in their copies. He was the best. Yeah, my fluids professor wrote a textbook, then self-published so he could sell them at cost. It is by far one of the best textbooks I've ever used. And he included bitmojis of himself saying sarcastic haikus which he wrote either about the material or campus life. It was like $20 and I've kept it partially because it'll serve as good reference for my career, and partially because of the damn haikus. Buying add-ons in freemium games. Starbucks. I work at one and kinda feel bad when I realize that people who come in every day for the same drink and food item are spending almost $100 a week on stuff that literally is maybe worth a 15th of what they pay for, especially considering that baristas get all their drinks for free. I'm always saying to myself, damn, this tiny-ass drink is $5? Quote, I thought the same thing about some girls in high school that would bring an $8 Starbucks drink to first period every day. I'm just adding up the cost. Pretty sure the one worked her part-time job just to pay for her Starbucks addiction and gas money for the brand new car her parents bought her. Like goddamn. Cable. You're basically paying for commercials. I haven't had cable in almost 10 years. My mom pays for Netflix and I pay for Disney Plus and we share both. I don't understand why anyone still has cable. I just flip through the channels for hours with it. Half the reason is sports. Reddit awards. I feel like this comment is gold digging. Everyone else is saying expensive stuff. My pet peeve is when someone comes to my store. I work at a sub shop. And then they order a ham and American cheese sandwich and it's like $15. Like FFS, make that at home. It's the bread. If I could get Subway's bread to some sandwiches at home I would. But I'm particular with the bread. Buying the latest phone even though the one you already have functions perfectly. iPhone 6s on its second battery right here. Edit. Thanks for the silver kind stranger. Exclamation mark. Penis enlargement pills. Bro, if you got a tiny dick, you got a tiny dick. Don't be ashamed. Something I read that was funny. Penis enlargement pills clearly don't work. Because if they did, men would find out exactly how many it would take to kill them and then take one less. Wedding. Fucking anything. Fucking everything is 200 to 500% more expensive when you slap wedding on it. Wedding photographer. Wedding florist. Wedding venue. Wedding fuck. Think a photographer costs a few $100s to maybe $1,000 for a few hours. Try multiple thousands. Flowers. A few hundreds. Try over $1,000. Diamond ring. Maybe $5,000? Yeah, until you hit 1 carat. Don't you love this girl? She wants a 1 carat diamond. Oh, now it's $10,000. And you get to buy the wedding band. Weddings. Fuck weddings. Edit. Thanks for the platinum. Literally my first award. Some people want a marriage and some people want a wedding. Personally, I want a wife. Eating. It costs so much, but I want to eat all the time. I felt that. Even following all the proper tips for saving money on food, such as eating at home, cooking in larger quantities and consuming the leftovers, buying non-perishables, buying off brands, etc. I still drop a few hundred a month on just myself. I'm not even feeding a family. If I didn't have to eat, I'd save literally thousands of dollars a year. Doesn't seem like a sound long-term plan, but I guess I could just stop eating and I'd be able to save so much money for the rest of my life. Edit. Lot of questions about where I am. Monsieur, I'm in the US. In Kansas City, a relatively low cost of living area as far as major cities go. Existing is expensive. People who buy Nike, Air Max, Ralph Lauren, other brands for their baby less than a year old. What's wrong with baby clothes from local Target or Walmart? The kid can't even lift his neck up and has no idea what's going on while he's just going to shit through them and spew food on them anyways. Wasteful. Spend that lavish money on a decent pushchair or open up a savings account for when the kid gets older. Not something he's going to wear once for 5 minutes and then drool all over. My future baby is going to be wearing comfy footy pajamas 24 hours a day and stretchy soft leggings. Also, these shoes are not very good for baby and toddler feet. I bought most baby clothes secondhand in prime condition. Some things my kid wore literally twice before outgrowing them, monsieur. Also, hooray for comfy footy pajamas. Agreed on funeral cost. I'm all for cremation after they harvest my organs. Hopefully they can be of use to someone. Don't spend money after I'm gone. Also, huge wedding. Spending tens of thousands of dollars. Emo. It's not about how you get married. How you treat your marriage is the important thing. My husband and I spent $20 for courthouse wedding and we are still happy together. We'll be married 29 years next month. Some people want a wedding, some just marriage. Buying a new car. If you buy a 1-year-old car, you can almost knock off 1/5 of the price. If you are thinking of buying a new car, it's worth just calculating the first 2 years depreciation, dividing it by 100, and asking this question. Assume the car is $28,000 new, and $16,000 used after 2 years. So $12,000 depreciation over about 100 weeks. How do I feel about paying $120 a week to lease this car? Quote, if your answer is not good, then don't buy new. Buy second-hand and let someone who is okay with that bullet take it for you. This is the right answer. Having bought new, bought used, and leased, each situation is different and buying new isn't always the worst option. I could have saved about $10,000 by buying a 2019 Camaro 2SS with 15 to 20K miles on it instead of a similarly equipped 2020. However, there's no way to know what the first owner did during those miles. Did they properly brake in the engine for the first 1,500 miles? Did they perform routine maintenance? Did they push the car too hard? Did they properly take care of the exterior? A lot of this wouldn't matter for a cruise that I plan to drive the wheels off of for the next 10 years, but it matters a lot for a feature-rich model of sports car that will still have decent resale value at 70,000 or 80,000 miles if it's very well cared for. For V8 muscle, I might actually buy new overused. When I bought my Challenger and Charger, the true cost of ownership was about the same new versus used. Diamonds. The money my wife and I saved on her engagement ring by going with a moissanite stone allowed us to get a much more elegant and interesting band. Nobody can tell the difference, and it's much more personal to the both of us, seeing as how she got to pick out each and every design element for a fraction of the price. We even bought our tungsten wedding bands on Amazon for like $30 a pop and got some great designs that would have cost several hundred from a jeweler's. Microtransactions in video games. People just blow hundreds of dollars on a game that could be dead in a year. People put so much money in FIFA points for FIFA Ultimate Team. It literally lasts a year because next year, you get the new FIFA and start from 0 pennies. They currently cost around 2 to make. So when the mint hands you a penny, they're really giving you their 2 cents. Cigarettes. No explanation needed. Technically they save you a lot of money because your life will be shorter and you'll have less time to spend money. Our death pro tips. Paying for parking at the university you attend. Why pay $200 plus for parking when it's hard to find a good parking spot and I'm already paying thousands of dollars just to attend the school? I just started parking without a pass until I got a ticket. They give the tickets in little yellow booklets that have all the parking rules and regulations written on them. This year I just kept that and slip it under my wipers every time I park. The initial fine cost me $55. It's lasted me over 6 years. They never check for some reason, though occasionally I'll need to act angry when returning to my car if an inspector is nearby for the sake of dramatics. I once read a post on Reddit about someone who figured out that getting tickets was cheaper than paying for parking, since he wasn't getting tickets every day. Insurance companies. You pay for a service that kindly assigns you a middleman whose job it is to deny you access to the service you paid for, and penalizes you for using it too. Oh, you filed the claim? Yeah, your rate's going up. What the fuck? Yep. My homeowner's insurance went up over $300 a month this year BC of a fire in January 2018. I expected it last year, but someone must not have been paying attention. Donating to Kylie Jenner fund to make her a billionaire. Why? Seriously? Can we make one of these for me? Shit, I'd be happy for $1,000. That would more or less solve all my problems at the moment. Weddings. All that money spent for everyone else's enjoyment. I know. People will say, best day of my life being surrounded by friends and family, and maybe that's true, but I would rather save a ton of money, get eloped, and use a fraction of the money you'd spend on the best honeymoon of your entire life. Have a celebration party later. Maybe. It's funny, thinking of all of the couples I know that spent $10,000 or less on their wedding. They all remain together. The ones that spent greater than $10,000? All but one are divorced. The one that's still together spent money they could afford. There was actually a research that people who spend less on their weddings tend to be married longer. My wedding was $50. We went to the courthouse and a judge married us. Still married after 16 years. So I guess it's working out okay. We saved up for the next year and went to Disney for a week. Had a blast. We were young and dumb and broke as hell. Now we are older and not broke. Still glad we did not spend money on a big wedding. Speaking as a K-pop stan that recently had a moment of enlightenment, my answer would be merchandise. I had only started buying merchandise of my favorite boy group November of last year. In the span of 7 months, my spending on albums, photo cards, and Uchi has accumulated to a grand total of 10k Philippine pesos, or 200 United States dollars. Losing my job amidst this pandemic was kind of a blessing in disguise, because it made me reevaluate what my priorities should be as an adult. Fancy china, the kind you only bring out on special occasions. The nicest restaurants and steakhouses serve their food on plain white plates. Doesn't seem to diminish the experience at all to me. Supreme living. Becoming an adult is when your free-to-play game turns into pay-to-play. Pay whether you play or not. Bottled water. Honestly, I once taped hundreds of dollars and made a badass sash out of cash. Huge waste of money. Cam girls. Exactly. Buy a camel or buy a girl. Just decide, move on. Belle Delphine's OnlyFans. I thought the censored pictures I saw on dubious sites for free were that way because you needed to pay her to see the rest. But her OnlyFans is the same way. The only time you can see more is when she direct messages you to pay her $8 for an uncensored picture of her boobs. Such a disappointment. 0 tenths. Would not use part of my COVID checks like that again. I don't even know who that is, but lol, people are really paying for censored nudes. $35 a month for a handful of censored nudes that are free elsewhere. I really think Belle Delphine should be a professor of online marketing. No one can create attention and monetize it like her. She is somewhat a marketing genius tbhlmao. She literally got people to buy bathwater of all things, made her money, and kinda disappeared. Then she reappears when she needs more cash, and because of her audience most accept her with open arms for her to continue her marketing madhouse. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.